thank you for tuning in to the Swish Masters Podcast. And of course, thanks to our sponsor, SS96. Use the promo code Swish Masters. That's right, Swish Masters, the name of the podcast, for 15% off today on all merch at ss96.net. Also, be sure to follow Straight Stoner as well as Xzequtive Productions on all socials. See you soon, and thank you so much for tuning into the podcast. What up, what up? Welcome to the Swish Masters Podcast. It's your boy Zay, the executive producer here.
I'm QtheGuru. Thank you so much for tuning in.
We got a few playoff matchups that are done, that have been concluded. First round wrapping up, but
It's
look back at them. I know, man, it's crazy. These playoffs are going stupid right now, but Clippers Suns, man. Clippers could not make the upset. Suns get the victory, moving on to the semifinals. Initial thoughts, man. Your boy Westbrook.
Yeah. There's a couple of things there's a couple takeaways from this series we need to talk about. I'm excited to hear your thoughts about it. But first, the props to Devin Booker and the Suns, man. Devin Booker.
Oh yeah.
It's like the basket is wide open. He's in the ocean by himself. Like he is hitting shots, contested, doesn't matter. Man, Devin Booker, if he keeps this going, man, it's like, good luck. But you can truly already see the effect KD has on the team, man, just being that magnet on defense. Now, before the series started, clearly I thought the Clippers had a chance. For real. Especially after looking how game one went. Like, we talked about game one a little bit when we did our video. We talked about it. So it was looking good. Then Kawhi's playing really well. And then it turns out he's hurt. And he's out. And based on the reporting, it kind of gave people who are Clippers fans some hope that Kawhi could be back, maybe. But then again, if you're a true Clippers fan, you probably already knew that he was out. But for us casuals, NBA fans who don't follow the Clippers as closely as the Clipper fans do, I'm hoping like, okay, maybe he'll come back. Maybe he just need whatever, as it reported first. But turns out this dude's tore his meniscus. Of course he's gonna be out for months. Of course he's gonna be out of the playoffs. So no hope. They had more hopes of getting PG back before Kawhi. But to get PG back, they had to advance at least to the next round. And it's hard to do that without your two top players.
Yep.
But people giving Russ love. The one nugget out of this is Russ played himself into a new contract if he wants it. Like, for real. Russ played himself into a new contract. He loves the Clippers. He says so in his presser. Tyronn Lue, all the players give him credit. Shout out to KD and CP3 for what they said about Westbrook. It needed to be said, and he showed it. He's literally changed the perspectives of a lot of NBA casual fans out there. Of course, me, I'm a Russell Westbrook fan, so I already knew these things about Russ, but at the same time, it's so awesome to see it. They went out swinging. They're down almost 20 at one point in that game. But they came back and fought. Shout out to Tyronn Lue. Yeah, man. We had to have a conversation about the Clippers' future, but that series is already over when Kawhi went down. That's when it wasn't over. So those are my thoughts on that series.
Yeah. Good points. you got to give the Clippers credit. Got to give Russell Westbrook his flowers. A lot of people have written him off and just blatantly disrespected the man. We know that he is not just some bum out of nowhere. This is Russell Westbrook. This is one of the best players to touch a basketball, in my opinion. And like you said, he showed up, did what he could. I just have to give the Clippers effort and applause, man, because even though they were shorthanded, they don't have a superstar. Guys like obviously Russell Westbrook being that star player in these moments. Norman Powell stepped up big time, scoring like big time buckets. Obviously, it wasn't enough, but
yeah,
I think that the one thing that beats the Clippers more than other teams is themselves with their health. Obviously, PG had went down a couple weeks back before the playoffs even started, so that was a big loss for them. And then Kawhi, like you said, was starting off playing monster playoff basketball, and he ends up turning
on the court, man, for real.
Yeah, tears his right meniscus, and he just got back from that right ACL tear, so that's alarming for sure, and unfortunate, man. It's. I feel like with the Clippers, we just have been waiting forever for them to just like all be together and healthy, and having the pieces, and it's like it's like one or the other. Either they're healthy but they don't have the extra pieces, so PG and Kawhi are like carrying a big load, or they have pieces, Kawhi and PG go down. Kawhi is out, or PG gets COVID. It's kind of crazy. It's a weird Clipper curse going on right now. It's unfortunate. But on the other side, Devin Booker is unlocked. KD, CP3, like the Suns, arguably, I was thinking about this the other day. They arguably have one of the best lineups in basketball in general. CP at the point, if he's when all these guys are healthy and are not having any issues, CP at the point, Devin Booker at the 2. I mean, you can swap Torrey Craig at the 3 if you want. 4, KD at 5, DeAndre Ayton. That's a tough lineup, and I think that we also have to realize the KD effect. Obviously, we know KD can get buckets. He can score at will. But he also knows how to make plays and make the right play for his team. And we're just seeing Devin Booker getting the benefit of that because there's so much attention to those guys. So Devin Booker, already a tough shot maker, can make shots off the dribble, spot up, do it all, get to the basket. Just being able to have that guy to lean off of, and CP to make plays, facilitate, Aiden being able to be a force in the middle. The Suns have a good chance to make some noise further down the line. So it was a unfortunate series of events for the Clippers, but in this case, the better team was able to take it and move on. So gotta give them credit.
Yeah, like you said, shout out to the Suns, man. But we gotta talk about the Clippers off season now. And what do they actually do? You talked about something about the Clippers curse, man. And it seems to be something Kawhi and Paul George only played 40% of their games together, man. Tyronn Lue pointed out that his version of the Clippers have not played a playoff series at all. So, like you said, the timeline's been like either one star is hurt, another one plays, both are out. One postseason was just PG, remember, and now both are out. It's crazy. So now you have to consider, what do they actually do? You have some analysts and TV personalities talking about Kawhi should retire, which is nonsense to me. But it does consider, like, Kawhi is there's an old management conversation that's been going on. That's true, but I don't think that applies to Kawhi in general. Like, this dude is legit injured and hurt. So I don't think that conversation applies to him. But you do need to figure out what you need to do if you're a Clippers organization. Like, you don't have any of your first round picks for the next couple of years because we got it. Okay, see what's up. And pick swaps. You don't own the rights to your picks like that. So you can't necessarily just rebuild. You have a new stadium you plan to open in 2024 or 2025. One of those years they plan to open a new stadium, but it's very soon. It's getting very soon. Apparently, a lot of toilets going to be in there. I heard from Steve Ballmer. So, a lot of toilets. Toilets.
It caught me off guard. My bad.
Yeah, man, that's crazy, man. I don't know what his issue is with toilets, but he have plenty of them. But anyway, you got this new stadium trying to unveil, and you gotta have a great product on the floor, and nothing says that more than having superstars, to play on your floor. So I don't expect them to get rid of PG and Kawhi. I think they'll convince themselves to run it back again, hopefully with a full healthy roster, because they got clearly the best supporting cast around them, man. Like to keep it that close against the Suns, that lets you know like you can compete. If they had PG or Kawhi, like one of them, I could make an argument they could have advanced in that series, like for real. How tight it was and how those players stepped up, like Norman Powell and Russell Westbrook playing like that.
I love what I saw from those two. Honestly, if they just had
just a little bit of something from anybody,
a little bit of help,
just a little bit more.
Anything is possible. So
I'd say they run it back. You can't afford to blow it up. That's my opinion on the Clippers. Try to bring everybody back, including Russell Westbrook. Just try to bring everybody back. That's my opinion.
I agree. Honestly, like you said, they have a great supporting cast around those two guys. You add a star like Russell Westbrook into the mix, and you give him now, honestly, you give him the off season to kind of like just mesh and work out, heal, get treatment, whatever you need in the off season, come back in the fall and do your thing. And if they can just, that's the only thing, honestly, like they've put together good rosters, like over the past few seasons. They just cannot stay healthy at the right times. If they can just stay healthy, I'd just say run it back. Because I don't really know what you can do besides like try to get healthy. Like you have guys that fit at least. I'm not gonna say you have like, do you add this and this is a championship? I feel like they have the type of players.
I feel they have it. I will say this though, maybe if they can get another center, maybe. Zubac is good, but he couldn't play on the floor sometimes during that Sun series. I would suggest to get Mason Plumlee back because he played really well. Still keep Zubac, but if you can upgrade a center, I will upgrade a center. I'm just saying that's the weakest position, I think. And, of course, the point guard, and you figure that out. But even if they don't get a point guard, they're still in a good situation with Terrence Mann or Bones Highland, at least. I would say Terrence Mann if I'm the Clippers. But I would first try to get Westbrook to come back. And if there's an upgraded center out there, get it. If not, you're set, like, for real.
Yeah. They kind of have to work with what they have. Can't really, like you said, do anything through the draft.
Right. And cap situation is not good. So I like to just go get free agents and let you sign it to the mid-level exception or something. That's about it. And that's basically all they can offer Westbrook too. Like they can't offer him like what he probably deserves. I think the most is like what 3.8 million I've been seeing. So, and of course he's played himself to a way bigger contract than 3.8 million. But we'll see. It depends on what Westbrook wants to do. So we're both in agreement that they should probably try it one more time.
Get healthy and run it back.
That's right. Even that means low managing to do it. Like you got to do it. Do it. I mean, it sucks. I mean, what happened? They low managed to get to that point though with Kawhi, but it just happened again. So I don't know.
Yeah, I want to before we move on from just the Clippers, Kawhi, PG, all of those guys, I just want to say something that I feel like people are. I've been seeing this like headline as well with Kawhi needing to retire and certain sports figures that are very popular saying these things, and it's like, dog, like how can you tell this man to retire? He just tore his right meniscus. Like, it's not big. I don't think that I've heard this load management thing all season long.
Yep.
And of course, no one likes it. I don't think players like it for the most part. Like, from what I've understood and the players that I've like watched and listened to, they don't want to do load management. A lot of the time, it's the team,
the doctors,
upper level management, the analytics guys. You're running hot. Like, these guys want to play basketball. A lot of them do. I'm not gonna say this for every single person, but I think like when you think of specifically with Kawhi and PG and just the Clippers, because they're kind of like the notorious ones for it at this point, those guys literally are hurt. Like I don't think that anyone really wants to play with a torn meniscus, torn ACL, or if you already having like a lot of issues with it, you don't want to just aggravate it when you don't have to. So. In some cases, load management is a necessity for these guys to be healthy. Not in others, sometimes not the case. But we got to stop this Kawhi retiring thing. Shame on this person.
Yeah, and some people too. I mean, some people agree. It's crazy. You won't tell nobody just they should retire. Man, this is serious. He's actually hurt. And you don't have to see the injury I don't believe in that.
Nah. Moving on to the next series, man. We had the Timberwolves and the Denver Nuggets concluded their series. Denver took care of business this time. They defeat the Timberwolves in the series 4-1, man. A lot of things happened in that last game. It was a pretty good game, actually. But I think I've been saying this for pretty much all season. Timberwolves, man, they have an identity crisis. And I'm interested to hear your thoughts on just the outcome of these last few games for them.
I don't got much to say, man. We predicted it. I mean, nothing else to say. Like, the better team won.
As they should have.
As they should have. Like, I have honestly no thoughts, man. It's tough. Nuggets are clearly the better team. They made the last game really interesting. I'll say that. Yeah. I forget. Did they win a game? Did they win one of the games, or did they get? They won one of them, right? Yeah.
So, they got the last one in Minnesota.
Right. Yeah. So, gentleman's sweep is, it's better than what I predicted. I don't know if I predicted a sweep for them or what. I think I did, but gentleman's sweep is a little bit better. They just need to figure out what they need to do. I'll save my comments for like what I think the Wolves should do in the offseason, but as a reaction to the series, I'm like, they put up a good fight. Anthony Edwards bounced back.
Yeah.
And played well. There's no knock against the players, man. I don't have any issues with the players, man. I think overall, just the coaching and the culture needs to be shifted. Yeah. And I think they made a major mistake. I questioned this move in the beginning. Like, why bring Rudy Gobert? Because that makes Cat play. I mean, he can shoot. But you're ignoring one of his major strengths. Because he has to be out there. Because Rudy's in the paint. So I think that turned out to be one of the worst trades in NBA history now, considering how much they gave up. 5 first-round picks for Rudy Gobert. And what is that getting you?
Yeah, it's pretty terrible. What they have to pay Gobert over the next 2 seasons.
I don't get it, man.
It was definitely, in retrospect, I'm sure they're gonna be kicking themselves very hard.
Yeah, they need what I mean by culture change, change the whole front office, change it. They may be doing another rebuild very soon, man, because it's hard. You lost. You don't have any draft picks. What are you gonna do? So you don't have to rebuild. Yeah, or you have to rebuild or trade your tradable assets, Cat. Anthony Edwards, they probably won't have to try to restart. I'm so serious, man. I don't see how they can get out of this. I'm grateful they made the playoffs. That's an accomplishment on its own. But
honestly, that's exactly what I was thinking, because I didn't think they would get past the play-in.
True. But they did. I mean, shout out to them. Shout out to them for doing that. So this off season, though, they should probably get a different coach, different front office. Man, they need to do some soul searching, bro.
Complete overhaul.
That's my opinion, bro. That's how this team is constructed, bro. They have good players and some good personnel. But you need the right coach to put that together. There's some good coaching candidates out there too.
Yeah,
so
for sure. They need to figure out their identity as an organization, as a team.
Mm-hmm.
Players need to figure out what they want to do. Like Cat, do you play inside? Do you play outside? Actually, was watching.
He can do both.
I mean, he can, but he lacks the discipline to figure out. I don't know if it's discipline or IQ. It may be the same thing, but I think I was watching Inside the NBA, and Shaq and the guys touched on this perfectly. Cat, to me, it can be great. He can be a great player. Right now, he's a good player.
Right.
And the reason because of that is he lacks the ability to realize the right situation. Obviously, he's 7 feet tall. We know he can post up. We know he can score on the inside, bang guys, whatever, post up. He's a good post player, and we know he can shoot too. But when you get certain matchups, and you're trying to take smaller guys, these smaller, especially now in the league they play a lot of small ball. You get 6'7", 6'8" guys on your 7-footer power forward. Why are you trying to face up at the 3-point line instead of going down low, posting this guy? You have the size advantage. You can shoot over them most of the time. I'm not saying you can do that on every one of those guys, but you need to really analyze and pick up on these things so you can make the most of it. But the other side of that, you have Rudy Gobert, another 7-footer who can't shoot, who's just kind of on the block, kind of limit your spacing. And you have a superstar in Anthony Edwards who can only get his buckets in half court because you have 2 7-footers who kind of don't mesh well. So now you just you play slower. You make it harder for spacing. You make it harder for the best guy on the team to get easy shots. You don't run a lot. I just feel like they're going to be stuck. And they don't have draft picks. So it's what do you do? And if I'm Anthony Edwards, I'm man, y'all gotta make something shake, because otherwise I wouldn't be looking to. I think his rookie extension's gonna be coming up. So it's what are you gonna do? Because
yep,
you got to prioritize him. I think he's clearly the best player at this point. Cat has to be at least the second best player if you're gonna keep them together. But it's just I don't know how they can function. And I think we've both said this, many times. The Timberwolves just are frustrating as a team. This is the first time they've made the playoffs back to back since KG in 04, and they just they don't have a cohesive fit organizationally, staff wise, team wise. I don't know what they do, and they're just stuck. So I feel like if they don't make big changes, they're just, like you said, going to be irrelevant, rebuilding. They're just going to be stuck in where they are, or get worse.
Yeah, so true. But real quick though, shout out to Jamal Murray. He's still the Michael Porter Jr. is looking good. Like, shout out to those players, they're looking good. But yeah, that's it as far as analysis for the series. Really, it's turned out to be like just a session on Timberwolves because the Nuggets did what we expected them to do. You know,
they should have swept us, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, but we both predicted like a sweep, but like
they should have swept those guys. Yeah, but it's all good.
Oh, that's fine. Well,
we're on to the semifinals, man. Nuggets and Suns. This is gonna be a battle, bro. And these are two of the best teams in the West right now. It could go either way. Oh man, this is exciting.
Yeah. I have my. I'm ready. I'm ready to hear your thoughts, man. Like, let's break down the series, man. Like, this is gonna be really good. You kind of hit the nail on the head earlier when you talked about the Suns they have like one of the best starting lineups. You're right, they do, and they put so many minutes on their legs in the series against the Clippers, man. Playing, we had Durant and Booker playing 40 plus minutes, averaging that. CB3 close to 40. Like, that's a little concerning for me. The lack of depth for the Suns. We know the Nuggets definitely have more depth, and they can cause more problems. Dominating. I ready to see how he looks against Nikola Jokic, man. I don't know if you heard about his new nickname, Dominating. That's his nickname. He came up with himself. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's pretty smart, man. I like it. But we have to see it. I have to see it. This is a former number 1 overall pick in the same class as Luka Doncic and Trae Young. Like, this is his time to shine. Like, let me see how you do against a former, potentially another future MVP in Jokic. Right? we have to see.
Yeah.
How does that matchup look like? I think Jokic will win that matchup every time. That's me personally. And then you got, I'm interested to see Murray versus Booker. That's going to be awesome to see. Because Murray's back. He looked good in that last series.
Yeah. Another guy that just got back from ACL tear, we were talking about this earlier. Like, his legs are under him now. So.
Yep. He's good. Yeah, he's looking good. Looking back to him like himself almost. You know what I'm saying? Back in the bubble Jamal Murray. Like,
for real. That was some beautiful basketball.
It was, man. Him and Donovan. Yeah, man. That was nice to see, bro. It was good.
Man. You brought up the good point. Like, we were talking about the Suns lineup having one of the best starting lineups, but that depth though.
Yep, it's so top heavy, man. It's tough.
They have Okogie. They have Damian Lee,
Torrey
Craig. I mean, they have.
That's about it though. That's it. I ain't gonna lie. That's it. That's your 8.
And I think the other guys are kind of like injured, and Cameron Payne's been out.
That's true. He can be coming back. That's some more depth. Yeah. That's true. Cameron Payne.
Yeah.
But still, that's it though. That's it. Yeah. The Nuggets have way more,
bro,
at their disposal, man.
Even looking at the Nuggets starting lineup, Jokic obviously, Murray obviously, Porter Jr. He's had a career high shooting percentage. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope shooting career high percentage. Aaron Gordon, fringe all-star type playing, number 1 seed in the West. Then you look at their bench. You look at Bruce Brown, who's been awesome.
Yep.
You look at Jeff Green, who's been consistently Uncle Jeff,
Uncle
just
Jeff. Yep.
still defying the test of time with these dunks. DeAndre Jordan's there. Got veteran presence. Got the kid Braun, Caleb Braun. Like they, the Suns, like on paper, like talent wise, KD, Booker, CP, Aiden, big time, right?
Right.
When I look at the Nuggets, I'm like, you know, like Jokic, back-to-back MVP, Murray, French is going to be an all-star at some point. Aaron Gordon, Porter Jr., who's also kind of like an interesting matchup to me because he's at that forward position with KD, so it's kind of like the same 6'9", 6'10" type player, shooting, handle like that. It's gonna be.
And then
this is really like
the home
almost
court
perfect.
advantage, though. They got the home court advantage too, man. The altitude in Denver. That's tough.
I was there.
That's tough, man.
Crazy. It's different, man. Man, this is gonna be.
It's gonna be good, man.
7-game series. 7 games for sure. If it doesn't go to 7 games, I'm gonna be a little disappointed. But I feel like this is gonna be a battle, bro. And honestly, I have to give the Nuggets the slight edge because they are one to have Jokic, who is just like a maestro when it comes to this team thing. And they've been together a little bit longer. They've had this whole system, lineup, cohesiveness all season long. The Suns, on the other hand, KD, who just kind of got there, let's just say a month ago, basically, been in and out due to injury. CP in and out due to injury. Booker missing time with injury. And they don't have as much depth. They have, don't get me wrong, they are super talented. We know how we know how KD, CP can get it going. Like Aiden can be a force. They have guys who can put up numbers, who can play basketball very, very well. But I don't know if like they have the level of chemistry to outplay those guys in a 7-game series. But they just have raw talent, which is different. Like D-Book and KD can go for 100 points, just those two, on any given night, I feel like. But can they get stops on the other end? Can they outlast the entire Nuggets squad? That's different. So I have to give the Nuggets a slight edge, and I don't know, but we'll see. I'm saying Nuggets in 7, bro.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick. Along with that, my other concern is this: I need KD. I know he ain't this type of player. He's so selfless as a player. I need him to be more aggressive, man. I mean, Devin Booker went off, yeah. I mean, Devin Booker is showing out, but I mean, KD has to be like getting be scoring a lot for them to win the series, man, because they're so top heavy, man. KD can afford to be a little bit more passive against the Clippers without PG or Kawhi. Now, if they had PG and Kawhi, I would have expected KD to step up even more and have more scoring nights, you know. But against a team like the Nuggets, who's fully healthy, I think they need KD to be fully KD to get past them in the series. Like, be superstar KD. Now, if we can do that, it'll be a tough 7-game series for real. Yeah. But at the end of the day, yeah, man. I get the edge to the Nuggets too. I do, and it's tough because like both teams kind of need to win, but they don't catch all types of stuff from the media and Twitter, all that. Because let me tell you this: Jokic, he is under pressure to win, and at least get to the conference finals, and at least get to the finals because of how many times he's won the MVP. People are not letting that go. And can you imagine if he wins again, but he loses in the second round? Yeah, he's gonna catch it like bad. Then you got the Suns. You traded all this to get KD, and you don't get past the second round. There'll be so many questions about the Clippers too, and Chris Paul, how many years he has left, and KD is gonna get blamed again about superstar, blah blah blah, and Monty Williams. Like both teams need to win. I ain't gonna lie. They're both under heavy pressure to win, bro. But
it's a tough matchup.
It is, but I see the Nuggets winning, bro. Like Jokic being that guy. Like I can see Jokic going. He has a lot to show everybody, so I think he'll do it. And they're home.
A lot of narratives, man.
The altitude.
A lot of stories.
Yep, it's good, man. Exciting to see, but I'm with you. Nuggets in 7. We had a Knicks and Cavaliers series in as well. It did not go as I expected it to go. I predicted this to be a 7-game series. I think you did too, by the way. 7 games. The basketball guy said no. That basically, never mind. Not the basketball guy. Jalen Brunson said no. We ain't. We gonna end this thing.
One-man wrecking crew.
And we gonna end this in y'all house. Like, really, bro. But man, New York
emphatic statement made by the Knicks, bro. Jalen Brunson, bully ball.
And Julius Randle was out. Like the second half of the game, basically. Like, come on. Yo, shout out to the Knicks. They showed a lot. Jalen Brunson is that dude. Man, Jalen Brunson's come one of my favorite players, man.
Brunson is a monster.
For real, bro. RJ Barrett stepped up. He showed me something we haven't seen in a minute. You know, Tom Thibodeau, great coaching job.
Yeah.
But man, they showed me a lot. I thought the Cavs had more maturity or whatever, but apparently it's the Knicks. That was one of my main comments I was worried about with the Knicks. Like the lack of experience in the playoff success or whatever, man. But the Cavs are the ones that broke down. But shout out to the Knicks, man. I got a lot to say about the Cavs though, but shout out to the Knicks, man. What are your thoughts about it?
I saw on Twitter maybe earlier today, the Knicks have won their first playoff series of this century. And I was like, bro, y'all are wild. A century though? Come on, though. They won. But shout out to the Knicks, man. I am very surprised by how this series went. I expected it to be a lot more.
It's like a slugfest, man.
Exactly. And Cleveland just, I don't know, man. They just lost steam. Donovan was struggling. And specifically this last game, Jarrett Allen, Evan Mobley, the Twin Towers, they just disappointed me, bro. I was
at home. No.
They could not get on the board.
Mr. Robinson. I'm like, hey.
Mitchell Robinson had 11 offensive rebounds. Like, bro, you can't 11 offensive? You mean to tell me I got the rebound 11 times? One dude.
Yo, that just says more about the 1-2, man, from the Knicks and the Cavs, man. That's why I'm so disappointed.
Yeah.
It's a 1-2 and a hunger when it comes to rebounding. You can't even do that at home? Nah,
that's
bro.
disappointing, bro. Yeah, the Cavs, Garland, I think he was a little banged up. He kind of struggled. Donovan was struggling.
Nah, man, everybody's banged up in the postseason, man. Ain't no excuse. Not 5 games, bro. Nuh-uh.
Randall actually re-injured his ankle.
I know. I hope he turns out all right though for the next.
I hope he's all right too. I like Julius Randle a lot, and it really didn't matter because Brunson just put the team on his back.
He did. And what about
Big Money Brunson?
Yeah, man. And how about Coach having the courage to bench Julius Randle?
Mm-hmm.
And they still won the game, and Julius being supportive in that too. You know what I'm saying? That says a lot about that team, man. Mm-hmm. Shout out to the Knicks, bro.
Yeah, and quickly, Toppin, Hernstein, like all those guys, man, playing their part. They honestly, I like their team. I feel like I've been looking at them a little bit this season too. So they have a talented group, and they seem to be really like in sync at the right time. So we'll see how it goes, man. Shout out to the Knicks. They made a statement.
You did,
Cavs, disappointment, but
yeah,
we'll see how it goes.
yeah. I was definitely wrong in my pick. You know.
Yeah.
As
I
far
was
as the
too.
Cavs, bro, like just run it again next year. They got the talent. I like JB Bickerstaff. That's a bad way to go out, though. I ain't gonna lie. One game, one. And when you're the higher seed, like they were the higher seed, by the way.
Yeah.
So that's very disappointing.
It's really surprising, man. I mean, like, this is the playoffs and anything can go. Just really didn't expect them to go out that way.
Right. Yeah, man. I don't know. Yeah, they have the talent. They have the talent. Just running back. I'm not advocating for the coach to be changed. I think he can get another chance, but yeah, try to see if we can get in the off season. There's no real lack I see with that team, though. I don't know.
I mean,
I guess more depth. I guess I don't know, but they're pretty good.
I would say, yeah, add to the depth chart. I don't really know who they have as their backup bigs.
You're probably about the bigs. I don't know.
But if anything, get those guys in the gym. Get Mobley and Allen. He should have been better too. But
yeah, man,
get in the gym, work out, get stronger, get better. I don't know what else to add. I mean, add more shooting. That's always good. But
true. Tend to go for wings and guards, maybe. I don't know, man. We'll see. See what they're gonna do. Jimmy Butler went deer hunting. There's no way I could have predicted this to happen. I actually picked the Bucks. I was wrong. I thought we had more games than this. I was wrong about that too. Zay, as a resident Heat fan, the floor is yours, man.
What can I say, man? My light went off at the right time, but we got to highlight this Heat culture, man. That's what it's about, Heat culture. Man, shout out to my Miami Heat, bro. Got it done. Hemi G. Butler. Hemi G. Butler. Jimmy Butler, man. What a playoff run. This dude is just incredible. Like, legit super mega star when it comes to playoff basketball. This dude just goes to another level, and I'm just so impressed, man. A lot of stuff I can say about this series, about the team, both teams actually, but I just got to give credit where credit is extremely due to Jimmy Butler, man. He carried us, man. Carried the entire team, carried us through this series. Some things just went right for us, but I want to address his last game. Obviously, Jimmy had a big game, 42, hit the craziest. Me and my wife both watching the game. Jimmy catches the lob, throws it up over his shoulder, hits the play. I'm like, oh my God. Like, going insane, bro. Like, me and Nikki just like can't believe like what we just saw. We just hyped.
Same here, bro. I was so hyped.
It was insane. One of the craziest, most clutch plays I have ever seen. But I also have to give a big shout out, man, to Gabe Vincent. I mean, he really was aggressive on the attack. He scored some big buckets, made a big crucial shot in the clutch, And without that shot, we don't get to that Jimmy play. So got to give a shout out to Gabe. Shout out to Kevin Love showing up, hitting 5 threes. Shout out to Bam finally waking up in overtime. And I got to give credit to the Bucks, man. Obviously, Giannis helped us out with all those missed free throws. But he was Giannis. He was a monster. Chris Middleton had a great series as well. Like, they had a lot of good stuff going, but Jimmy just said no. Jimmy was like, nope, it's not your time today, sir. So shout out to my Heat Nation. Heat culture. This is what we do. I never doubted that we could win this series. Never was in question. I will say that I didn't even expect it to be 5 games. I'm not even going to sit here and act like I was like, oh yeah, we're going to sweep them. We're going to give them a gentleman's sweep. I didn't expect that. But I always knew we could get that win. So I'm excited, man. I'm hyped. Shout out to Jimmy Butler, bro. Shout out to the Heat. They didn't believe in us. You know what Caleb be saying. We're here.
I was one of those people that picked the Bucks, man. I just thought they were a better team. I thought I had more depth. My main concerns were the offense was going to come from when I picked the Bucks. But Jimmy told me, hey, nope. I thought wrong. Jimmy Butler, man, this man scored 90-some points in 2 games. Something we haven't seen since Michael Jordan. Like, come on.
Hey, man, you know that that rumor about Jimmy and Michael Jordan.
Exactly, man. But I ain't gonna lie, bro. The competitive spirit that Jimmy Butler has, just how strong it is.
Yeah,
gotta come from somewhere. Yo, like that, it's literally Michael Jordan reminiscent. Like, it's so close to that. Like, this man's posting deers on his social media before the game. This man is talking trash throughout the game, like, to the crowd, everything. That's like, I love that. You don't see that enough in the NBA, and it's really reminiscent of like an attitude that Michael Jordan would have.
Oh yeah,
and I love to see it. I love it, man. I've been a fan of Jimmy. It's just pussy even more so, man. Like, we don't give this man enough credit. He's underappreciated as a superstar. I think most because of the regular season, but when it comes to the postseason,
the dude is
you just rely on him, man. He had so great that game 1, but the rest of the games, Jimmy has been Jimmy Butler, bro.
The Butler did it.
Now, shout out to Jimmy and the Miami Heat, bro. But now, that being said, the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, this is where my time to shine. Listen here. Everybody in the whole world thought y'all were going to advance after the first round. The facts are this: you lost to a team without some of their best players. Tyler Hero was not on this. He was not available. Victor Oladipo, unfortunately, got hurt, man. Shout out to Oladipo. Hope he gets better, man. That was tough to see. But 2 key pieces, right? 2 key pieces. Yeah, y'all were without Giannis for a little bit, right? But the game of how y'all lost, that can't happen. That can't happen, man. Listen here, Giannis. I love Giannis, man. You can't do that, bro. You know, I know you're having a bad night at the free throw line, but you can't pass the ball and be scared of it and to almost cause a turnover. In that moment, I thought he turned it over for a second because that camera angle lost it for a second. I was like, bro, Giannis did not just do that.
When I tell you, me and Nikki in our living room, I'm standing up, like the TV's like literally this far. I'm like, bro, I'm watching everything. I'm like, he just turned the ball over. Ain't no way he saved it, and he did. I was like, oh, you gotta
saved it, man. That was a clutch save by Middleton. It didn't save the season, unfortunately, for them, but man, Giannis, you can't do that, bro. You can't do that. I was so disappointed, and then I was wondering why. But yeah, he was at the free throw demons the whole night. That was just a mental thing, man. 10 of what, 23? That is terrible. I'm sorry, man. We've seen Giannis in the finals conquer that to win the finals by doing that, but that game is at home, by the way.
Yeah,
just couldn't get it done for whatever reason, and that's a mark on Giannis right now. And before the series, I believe everybody would have thought that he's the best player because he kind of earned that title. But now, based on how he went out and how you can't really close games with Giannis anymore like that, that's can you really be the best player in the world if you can't close out games? I mean, even Russell Westbrook knocking down free throws in the clutch. So we've seen that. We've seen that the Sun series. Like, despite how bad he shot in the regular season, Russ is not scared to go to the line. Like, not just compare Giannis to Russ. I'm not saying that, but I was just comparing that based on the guy who had poor shooting numbers at the free throw line, but still stepped up to knock him down. That's all I'm saying. That's the reason I used the worst there. But I was so disappointed to see Giannis do that. And the band, they were up, by the way. The Bucks were up in that game.
Up 16.
16, and the Heat came back. I was
That's
like, watching. So I ain't gonna lie, I stopped watching the game after I saw they were up so much. I was like, let me turn on Warriors Kings, and then you know how they have the score in the top right in Warriors Kings. I'm like, hold up, how did the score get so close? So then I went back to NBA TV, bro. I was like, no way, bro. And then everything happened, man. To the Gabe Vincent 3-pointer in the clutch, bro. Like, I was like, that was moment number one. Like, ooh. And then moment number two, Drew Holiday missed the free throw. That's tough. He made the other one, but he got me the free throw with Drew Holiday, man. That was tough. Ooh, moment number three, Giannis, you about to turn the dang ball over, man. What's up with that? I think I got the moments mixed up, but you know what I'm saying, bro. The final moment, bro. Out of timeout. Jimmy called that number, by the way. Ain't that crazy? Jimmy called that play. He knew what they were going to do. The lack of adjustments from Mike Budenholzer. I'm sorry, man. Fire that dude. The lack of adjustment. You know how many times out they had in the fourth quarter? You don't call a timeout. Overtime, you don't call a timeout. You see your players struggling to get the ball off, to get a play going. Call a timeout. What you saying the timeouts for? You don't carry him with you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm not gonna say
he should have called timeout, bro.
I'm not gonna say fire him, but I will say that he has some interesting choices when it comes to his coaching method. Now, one thing I like for Budenholzer that was interesting to me, like very interesting, in the first quarter he used his challenge, and he lost it.
That too, man.
I feel like this challenge thing, I'm not going to use that on some random call in the first quarter. Second quarter,
it was like what, an offensive foul or something?
An offensive foul on Giannis. He tried to challenge.
Yeah, so like, why that early? Who cares? You can
Bro,
adjust.
This is a crucial game, and I want to use every advantage that I need in the fourth.
They could have used it later on maybe the potential offensive foul.
And then we had our challenge. Yeah. Side note, you remember the play when the ball was free? Kyle Lowry and Middleton going for it.
Yeah,
they called it foul.
Yeah, and that was a perfect challenge to use there. But honestly, y'all shouldn't even have to use that.
Exactly.
That was not even a foul though. But the fact that y'all had it to use, that saved y'all for real. Like, it did. Because otherwise, that would have been like.
The refs tried to blow it for us too.
So. Exactly. So y'all say the challenge for that. At least y'all had a challenge for that though. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
But yeah, that was clearly not a foul, bro. And because it wasn't foul, I say y'all should have had the ball. Because if it wasn't called, if the refs didn't stop the whistle, stop the play, Lowry would have had the ball, and it would have been y'all ball. So
Yeah, I get why they had
but then the jump ball happened, but y'all, it worked out in Heat's favor anyway. But
a lot of things went wrong for the Bucks, but they went very right for my Heat. So
it did, man. It did, but a lot of it was self-inflicted though. A lot of it was self-inflicted for the Bucks, man.
Bro, I mean,
I'm calling for the dude's job. I don't care, bro.
Yeah, he could have burned some time out. So
and I believe a lot of Bucks fans agree with me, man. Looking on like social media, like apparently Bucks fans like said this dude should have been fired a long time ago, but Giannis saved the season with the championship, man. The lack of adjustments was terrible, man. The lack of adjustments were just terrible. And I love Spoelstra, man. Like, to use Bam in that way, to literally neutralize Brook Lopez and Giannis from their defensive assignments. I saw a whole new level of Bam I ain't know about. I ain't know he could pass like that.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know. I'm not a close Miami Heat fan like that. I didn't know. That lost a whole new game for me, man. That's crazy. And you got Kevin Love, you put in that same position if you need to, because I already know Kevin Love can be a good passer. So like, man. But Spoelstra had all the adjustments, man. That's at the end of the day.
Shout out to Spo. Got his 100th playoff win. You know,
best coaches in the league, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like we need to talk about like one more thing too. Giannis said something very interesting in the press series for making the rounds all day. All day. I know you've seen the quote. Our listeners are saying you've seen the quote. No, you need to play it for you. Giannis quotes on the terms of success and failure. He did not call this loss in their season a failure. It's interesting thoughts. A lot of people have different opinions on what Giannis said. I think about in terms of facts of life, I think we all agree with what Giannis said. That's true. It's steps to success.
Yeah.
But the fact is, y'all were heavily favored to win that series. It didn't even go 7 games. Lost in 5. On your home court.
Yeah, it's tough.
To a team that not only was the 8th seed and earned the 8th seed, to a team that had to go into the play-in and be the 8th seed. It's not I don't know, failure, if you want to use the word failure, but it's definitely a huge disappointment. But I feel like also in sports, there's natural failures to things, man. In any competitive type thing, man. You used to play 2K all the time, bro. You used to play basketball all the time. Matches you would win. I would rarely win some, but like it's but still like I feel
me in 2K all the time.
But 2K I had it though. But on the court, nah. But in 2K, yeah. But I failed to win. Okay, so like I did not win. There's natural winners and losers to certain things, man. You don't use it's about how you react to those things, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I lost this way. Let me try something else. Okay, like that's it. Like, in terms of sports, I think we can all like. In terms of life and facts of life, yeah, I agree with Giannis, but clearly the season was like a huge disappointment and failure if you're a Bucks fan. That's my opinion on it. I don't know. What are your thoughts on it?
I definitely appreciate him taking the time to just kind of break that down because I think the main point is that you can't see yourself as a failure, right?
Right.
Giannis obviously just lost. Obviously he has a goal. Obviously he wants to win. So
just had a terrible night, by the way. You know, he just went through that. A terrible night.
He's also the big thing he did was like realizing like let me take my personal feelings out of it. He said that.
Yeah.
So obviously he's a little emotional upset, right? He just lost. He lost in the first round. This team is the number 1 team in the league, and obviously they have these higher goals. So of course, I don't think I don't think that he himself is a failure. He missed 3 games really with injury, and just being open about how he like sees it.
Right.
Obviously, when you're projected and you're this team, you're the best team in the league, and you have a player like Giannis and the surrounding crew that he has, and Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton, Brook Lopez, these guys are also super talented, all NBA type players. You have there's an expectation that you're going to go to the championship, and when that doesn't happen, yeah, I say it's a failure. They failed to get out of the first round. They failed to get to their higher goals to win games, and that's a failure. But I think what he was describing is like, yes, this is a process, and every year there's a winner, there's a loser. It's unfortunate that somebody has to lose, but that doesn't mean you didn't like the season. I guess what I say is that this season isn't a failure for them because they were still good. They still like earned a lot of their wins, and but it was a failure in this series. Does that like make him a failure? Does it make this team a failure? No, but I definitely get what he was saying. It's disappointing, and like as a towards this goal of this year, yeah, it was a failure. But like he said, Michael Jordan didn't win every single year. 9 years he didn't win a championship. That's a failure, but that failure helped them to be who he is, to succeed. So here's what it is, man. But yeah, I feel like that reporter knew. Like, come on, bro. You know that. That's I don't know.
It's a tough question to ask, man. Like right out the gate. Sometimes I wonder why we have players do that, like right after the games like that, man. It's tough. At least give them some time to self-reflect, or maybe if you're Giannis, next time to really take time to debrief and, you know, let out all your frustrations and emotions in the locker room where no one can hear, sure. and then go address the questions. For sure. That's the only way I can think of to adjust as a player, man. Because that's a tough situation to be in. Especially after the night he had. Like, you can already imagine he's probably blaming himself already for all the mistakes, like all the missed free throws, and almost a costly turnover. You know. So like, I'm sure he's already kicking himself, but yeah. All right, still, Mike Budenholzer, you done, man? I'm serious. I'm serious, man.
Oh man,
I'm serious. You don't think he needs to go? For real?
It's hard to say. They just won the championship 2 years ago.
You lost in the first round, bro. In 5 games. I could see if it was 7, but 5 on your home court when you're up. You had timeouts to use. You didn't use them. Like, a lot of this blame goes to Mike Budenholzer to lose the game. I ain't gonna lie. To not make adjustments. Why not put Giannis on Jimmy? Clearly, Drew is getting cooked. Like, he's not working.
Hey, those are tough defenders, man.
And a drop,
but coverage, it's Jimmy.
You just saw Jimmy drop 50 or whatever, man. You gonna do the same defensive scheme? Really? Drop coverage? Mike Budenholzer's fault, man.
Yeah, it's very questionable for sure.
Fire.
I'll say that it is questionable.
I don't like calling people their jobs, man. But if you don't uphold to like go to task or don't even try to improve, there were no adjustments made in that game from game 4 to 5. Really, there were literally no adjustments, man, from Mike Budenholzer. So you're not doing your job. If you're not doing your job, give somebody else that will. There are other candidates out there. Nick Nurse. Ooh, Nick Nurse. Y'all like that? Imagine Nick Nurse with Giannis, man, and Drew Holiday. Yo, y'all better go get Nick Nurse. Go get Nick Nurse. Man. That'd be so nice, bro. Go ahead, man.
It's not a bad. That's not a bad choice.
Sure, that'd be nice.
I feel like he could do a lot with Giannis. You saw what he did with Kawhi. So.
Exactly. Perfect. And they gotta figure out what he did in the offseason too, like with Chris Middleton, you know, and Drew Holiday. No, not Drew Holiday, but Brook Lopez. That he's up to. Try to figure out what you want to do with them. They're getting older by the day too, man. And the windows will be closing soon. So do it now. Get new coach in there. Try to make another run.
All right, man. Moving on to the semifinals. The New York Knicks are gonna be hosting my Miami Heat, bro.
Ooh.
We are renewing the rivalry.
Yes.
Miami and New York. Let's go.
And this is gonna be good.
Come to Broadway. Come to a Madison Square Garden near you, New York. Get ready. The Jimmy Butler Show. Get ready.
Clearly, I know who you think's gonna win. But give me what you think about the series, though. Like, how many games Knicks going?
I'm gonna say this is gonna be a tough one. I do think for real it's gonna be a tough one. They won the season series. One said they won 3-1, honestly, and it was disappointing. But playoffs and Jimmy, Bam, our group of guys, we have that experience. Honestly, coming up with what we've done the past few years. New York still is a little bit new to this. But it's a little bit of stuff in question with the Knicks, specifically with Julius Randle being potentially out with his ankle injury. That's going to be a big impact on them. But honestly, even if he is playing, my biggest like Jalen Brunson is that dude can get whatever he wants. He's bully ball Brunson is a problem. So we're gonna have to really minimize his effect. And honestly, they beat us. They shot the ball pretty well against us in the regular season. Mitchell Robinson is obviously going to be a problem in the middle. Got to get him out of the paint, top into. It's going to be tough. But I say we need to shift defensive focus to Brunson, especially if Randle is out. We're really going to put a lot of pressure on Brunson. Get boards, play tough, smart, tenacious basketball. Do what we do. I'm riding with my Heat always.
Yeah, of course, man. How many games, man?
I'm gonna say at least 6. I think that
6. Okay.
I'm gonna put it this way. Like, obviously the Bucks on paper and through their ranking, they were a better team than New York this year. But when I'm looking at New York, it's New York basketball in the Garden compared to Milwaukee. It's a little different. It's there's gonna be a lot of people, a lot of celebrities, a lot of like pressure, a lot of attention in that Garden compared to Milwaukee. I feel like it's gonna be a little bit different. So that plays a big factor into it. I can't underestimate this young Knicks team. They're athletic, they're fast, they have multiple weapons. They got 3 lefties, so make them go right. It's gonna be a battle, bro. I'm looking forward to it. I feel like Jimmy especially is gonna embrace this one because him and Randall had to look back and forth this past season, and just in general, I feel like it's gonna be like a lot of grinded out type basketball, which is gonna be fun for us. So it's gonna be dope.
What do you think about Tom Thibodeau's familiarity with Jimmy Butler? Think that play a factor in the series?
I think it's just gonna make it more of a more interesting matchup. Actually, I think Thibodeau's gonna try to throw a lot of stuff to get under his skin, but Jimmy, we know who Jimmy is. He's gonna be talking, and once he figures it out, even if he all right, if you get a little something that works on him to all right, disrupt him a little bit, Jimmy's gonna figure it out. What people don't realize is that Jimmy is a very intelligent basketball player. Through the season, he makes the right play. And then and now whatever the team needs, if he needs to go out there and score 50, he can do that. Otherwise, he knows how to make it disruptive with the other guys. So I think Tibbs will, and honestly, Tibbs knows him, but he doesn't. I don't think he really got to see him at this stage. Like, Jimmy was always a great two-way star. and I think he had him with obviously Chicago, maybe Minnesota a little bit, but this is gonna be a Jimmy that he hasn't really had the experience of working with, so it's gonna be fun. I think him and Tibbs are gonna. I can see him and Tibbs getting into it already. So Jimmy can get it to everybody, honestly, but it's gonna be fun, bro. Heat in 6 at least 6. I think it's gonna be going 6 games. I wouldn't mind if we get a sweep or a gentleman sweep, but I have to give the Knicks credit, and they bested us in the regular season at least. So I'm gonna respect them. They Brunson, what they just did to the Cavs, I can't ignore it.
All right, and 6. Okay. And true. Two. Tom Thibodeau didn't coach this Jimmy Butler. This Jimmy Butler is like considerably better than the one that was
Completely different level, bro.
Completely different. So it's different. I think that he had a better coach. My main concerns are some things that you said, like getting the boards. Mr. Robinson's a problem. And again,
Yes.
I question where the offense is going to come from, considering if Tyler Hero is out. I'm concerned about his injury. We already out. We already lost Victor Oladipo, so that's another core player out. I like Vincent. And I like Strus. Can they step up again? It's like, man, it's all a matter of showing me, bro. Like, I know Jimmy's gonna do his thing. It's a tall task to do it again. Like, can he do it again? I believe he can, but it's a tall task, man. It's so hard. It's so tough to ask for that. And again, they don't have home court. So there's, of course, gonna be a natural home court edge in the series because I think it's gonna be that close. It's gonna be so close where I say it'll be 7 games. I think Julius Randle will come back at some point during the series, but we've seen the Knicks perform so well without him too. Man,
Yeah.
it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
The Knicks have. My bad. Go ahead.
There you go.
No, the Knicks. I'll just say this: Knicks have a kind of remind me of like the scrappiness of the Heat in a way. Like they have a lot of hustle guys, like Josh Hart can really just come in and make momentum plays, and they're very talented. On top of that, so it's going to be very interesting to see how it goes. And like you said, with Jimmy carrying this load, I'm not expecting him to be doing that every single game, every single series.
They need somebody to help him, though. I mean, to be fair, Giannis was out a couple games. That did help benefit the Heat.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
Absolutely.
So, but this next team, even if Julius Randle is out maybe a couple games, they're just still so... They have a lot of depth still and good players that can contribute. Like, that's my main concern again with the Heat. Who else can step up and can be that reliable second person to Jimmy? Like, Kyle already had a good night one night, but can he do it? Can it be Strus? Can he go off? I rarely see Duncan Robinson anymore.
He came in actually in this series and he was able to hit some shots. But like you said, we have to have
consistently, like,
you
know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what that person is for y'all. Bam. My mind goes to Bam, so it has to be Bam.
It has to be Bam. It has to be Kevin. It has to be Max. It has to be everyone. They all have to put in the work, contribute in whatever way they can. It's always next man up mentality when it comes to these things. So I agree with you.
Yeah,
that's a big concern.
Yeah, and right now I don't see it, so I'm gonna go Knicks in 7. So, but if y'all somehow do this again and defy expectations, I promise you, I'm gonna ride with y'all the rest of the way. You got my promise right there. You got the word. You got my word. If y'all somehow get past the Knicks, and especially if y'all do it in some unforeseeable fashion, I'm gonna ride with y'all the rest of the way. For real. At least out of the East. I don't know who's gonna come out of the West yet, but like at least out of the East. I got you.
Okay.